title suggests we're actually going to be breaking down what if Dreadwing and Breakdown actually killed Arachnid. I know this is going to be a little bit short here, but in all honesty, I really like to get the point. Hey everyone, this is your favorite Dinobot here, and let's begin. So Dreadwing and Breakdown killing Arachnid would have to occur if Breakdown keeps his temper in check. It's not really something hard to do here. Arachnid would shoot her webs at Dreadwing like in the original when Breakdown loses his temper, but Dreadwing being fast enough to cut him with his sword. Dreadwing would then don his jet form, and Arachnid would be trying to swing through the trees, only to be shot down by Dreadwing. Dreadwing and Breakdown would then begin to jump Arachnid here, with Breakdown giving the finishing blow and stating, "Hammer time," killing Arachnid. Now, excuse me. Now, this is really something that kind of changes up the Transformers Prime universe in a lot of ways here, because Breakdown is alive. This not only gives the Decepticon a cause a lot more strength than it should have, but this means a lot of key characters would stay in the game. And I think with, with Dreadwing and Breakdown succeeding, Dreadwing would have gotten the second command position like he did, with Breakdown getting congratulations and, praise from both Knockout and Megatron. And also, Knockout would remain his original self. He would be much more willing to fight. I mean, this is the same dude who had no problem being willing to throw hands with Optimus Prime. Now, in terms of characters, I would still keep Dreadwing alive even in Season 3 here. The only thing I would say is that Dreadwing is on a mission. I would actually do that instead of having him in the warship with Megatron and Starscream. Another thing that would probably change is the amount of relics that they get. Breakdown's death definitely hinders Knockout when it comes to physical might here, because Knockout wasn't too much of a physical fighter. Knockout was a kind of a hit and run retrieval specialist. Plus, he was more of a medical person than, more of a fighter. With Breakdown still around, Knockout and Breakdown will continue their duo, persona. And I think this means they would also have to have Breakdown versus Bulkhead for the Toxin. And here's why, right? Remember, Arachnid is the one that stirred the Insecticon horde in the original story. So, no Arachnid, they do not find the Insecticon horde that's in stasis on Earth. Now, eventually, they will be able to discover it. But you know what? Right now, they wouldn't be able to. All right? The Insecticons would just add more muscle to the army. And then we could have Dreadwing versus, whatever Autobot he goes for. In terms of retrieving relics, I do think Dreadwing will probably succeed in getting the Apex armor at that time as well here. I actually think Dreadwing would be less likely to play if he got the position and killing Arachnid right then and there. This means Starscream would have been killed, and he and Optimus would have been fighting over the armor, which would probably turn out with Dreadwing simply grabbing the armor as he has what he wants here and leaving. Meaning that the Autobots pretty much have their Apex armor. The Decepticons have the Apex armor. In terms of the Toxin, Bulkhead and Breakdown would scrap for that, and I would have Breakdown win, but he realizes the Toxin is way too dangerous for the Decepticons and simply lies, saying that Bulkhead was able to chuck it into the lava, taking the fall for it, even though it would have been the right decision that both Autobots and Decepticons would have been able to take this. With Breakdown alive in Season 3, a lot more Decepticon fossils would have been founded, as well as a lot more fights. I actually think that Project Predacon would not have been scrapped due to Breakdown's presence, because I do think Breakdown probably would have been a good voice of reason here, or would have been one of the few Decepticons that actually thinks, hey, maybe we should keep a few around. As a matter of fact, if not him, then Dreadwing. Now, how would I say the Autobots counteract this? I would actually say that the Protectobots actually make their way to Earth under Optimus Prime's request here. And not just the Protectobots, I would also have Jazz as well here. If you guys don't know, in the Aligned continuity, in the Aligned novels, the Protectobots are actually canon to the War for Cybertron and Fall of Cybertron games. Okay? They're canon to the Aligned continuity. They're one of the few combiners that are, Autobot combiners that are actually canon in there. Okay? In terms of other Autobots I will also have Springer in there as well to add more to the story. That brings just more and more, obstacles to Decepticons who would have Predacons as well here. I think Skylinks and Darksteel would have been born earlier, and I would have also had Abominus be one of the few main Predacon combiners, adding more of that effect to, well, the Decepticon cause, to make them look unstoppable until, lo and behold, the Dinobots show up. I do believe that this would also in turn cause probably more Decepticons to show up. Maybe the Combaticons show up as well. They are, scattered in that universe, or at least presumed dead. But we could little tweak the story, say they crash landed, right back on Cybertron, and they were all just fine. Remember, these guys are super soldier levels in Transformers. I'm sorry, in Transformers mythos here. So again, the Combaticons and the Protectobots plus the Terracons or the Predacon Combiner crew, all with Predaking now no longer being alone. We could even see the Predacons versus Dinobots. And then we could probably see, maybe they form Volcanicus in this storyline, seeing that Abominus is just simply too much for the Dinobots individually. Plus, having Abominus there as well simply adds to the effect of the story. It adds to the effect of Season 3 that the Predacons were simply unstoppable. Also, with the numerous numbers of Decepticons there, I do believe that Megatron would have probably commissioned to build himself an actual base on Earth for the Decepticon cause here. This means that, well, we would actually see maybe a Transformers animated interpretation of a Transformers Prime version of the Transformers animated base. In terms of character development, RC never gets that final closure with not killing Arachnid out of revenge, even though that was kind of stupid. Arachnid kind of deserved to be, taken off the sentence here. So RC would never get that closure and probably be wondering, where is Arachnid? As for Breakdown and Knockout, seeing them both join the Autobot side together would have been a lot more impactful to their partnership, and Bulkhead forgiving Breakdown for the deeds that he's done in the past. Breakdown being an Autobot and actually warming up to the kindness of the Autobots, as I really don't think he and Knockout actually fitted with the Decepticons the way they were. Knockout was actually welcoming to Ratchet's kindness, and I do believe Breakdown was also welcoming to Bulkhead's kindness, even hesitated when Starscream asked him to attack Bulkhead for a bit. So as the Predacons Rising, I wouldn't change too much about it, except with the amount of, forces the Autobots, the Autobots have with Breakdown, Knockout, plus the Combaticons joining their side, along with Knockout, Breakdown, the Combaticons, and the Predacons, with those that can form Abominus, or at least the Terracons. I'm going to just call them the Terracons. Let's just get that over it. I do believe that the story would have remained definitely much more. It would have been more epic. The final battle against Galvatron or Unicron Power Megatron would have been more impactful. I do believe Starscream definitely would have died. Starscream would have had no way to escape. Like, let's see, 3 plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 8 Predacons. There's no way he's escaping like 8 Predacons unless he's flying off the planet. Literally no way unless he does that, and I really doubt it here. So, in all honesty, Breakdown could have had a very good impact for the Transformers Prime series. Who didn't love him and Bulkhead simply going blow for blow with each other every time they encountered? And in my opinion, Breakdown definitely won a lot more of those encounters than Bulkhead did. I do think Breakdown was definitely stronger than Bulkhead. But in all honesty, you guys, if they did that and killing Arachnid, which would have saved both sides so much trouble, it's very possible that the Transformers Prime story could have been far better than it was. This is Legendary Grimlock, and I'll see you guys later.